Are you stuck? Woo!
Hello.
Hog leg cam.
Literal dimes.
Oh.
Have you been in the mud?
What are you doing?
Blinding us. Ralphie the cook.
Buttered sausage?
Glue it and screw it. We never knew.
Hello, Piggy.
Ooh, look at that. Real nice.
Nonsense.
Maybe.
No.
You drilled our rear end? Wow.
Spoiled kitty.
I am stuck.
Hi.
Is it pregnant?
Awesome.
4 days.
Whoa!
Dun, da, da, da.
Oh gosh. Ah!
No, what?
Did that scare baby?
Oh. Wow. Ooh. Kind of guessed at some of that.
Absolutely not.
What is going on around here?
Surely.
Oh, goody.
That is wicked.
No, thank you. Really?
Hey, buddy.
Oh, that's nice.
Woo!
Welcome back to the Sleeper Dude channel. We're back with the 72 International Metro Mite, and we are going to wire it and plumb it and try to get this thing running in this video. Can you believe it? Will it finally run?
Yay! I'm excited.
So if you haven't followed along, this is an old Postal van from 1972, and we put a 6-liter LS in it with a big cam and headers and intake and all that stuff to give it some more donkeys. It's got a 4L60E with a stall converter, 9-inch rear end. We're also going to swap the rear end gear, put a posi in the rear end, so that'll be cool too. All right, let's get right to it.
Woo! We have merchandise exclusively at thesleeperdude.com. We have paintings, stickers, glow-in-the-dark keychains. We have metal artwork. We have sketches. We have hats. We have hoodies. We have t-shirts of different kinds. You can check out our second channel at SleeperDude2, our third channel at SleeperDude Armed, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at SleeperDude88. Thanks for your support. Woo!
I think I'm going to start with the wiring just because I like wiring and it's going to take a while. Do y'all want to go ahead and pull the seats out and you can peel this junk off the floor?
Yes.
Figure out what we got to do about mounting these bus seats in here?
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Let's do that.
I got some metal for the legs because these only have, I think, 2 legs on each and they need like at least a third one.
Yeah.
I don't know what they put down here, but it's got some sort of cover. It feels like shingles almost. And we got a couple little rust holes that we need to patch up, but it's a completely flat floor, so it shouldn't be no big deal. I'm not sure which way we're going to mount them yet, but we'd like to keep seating for as many as we can in it. How many times has this thing been painted?
It's had a few coats.
I love the color though. The blue. It gets me every time. Here, Marjorie. That was quick.
Yep.
So we got rust in the corners back here. Looks like we got a little bit of rust there. Might have a little everywhere. I might just get a big sheet of metal at the metal place and just lay it, cover the entire thing, you know?
Do they have some that big?
I don't know.
It's kind of satisfying, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, ooh, it's sticky.
I'm trying to figure out what the best routing for this is. The way the wiring is designed is to go to this corner because most people are going to put their computer, you know, behind the dash on the passenger side. So I'm trying to decide whether to mount it like this. I thought about mounting it here. You really kind of need to be able to see the lights. I might could mount it like that, actually. Look, that's like the exact same height as that.
I think that might be meant to be.
Yeah. We just don't want to get this thing out in the weather. I think this thing is actually even waterproof, but you know, you don't want to try
exactly.
it out. I don't think my phone's waterproof too, but I don't try that out.
Right.
This is like my favorite job. Like between, like when we worked on the motorhome and all that, I literally was at like the peeler the whole time.
That was a nightmare on the motor. We peel forever.
Yeah, I know, but I
You
kind
do
of like
good at it though.
After a bunch of looking and calculating, I think I'm going to have to go through here. I think I'm going to have to drill a hole in the frame and the body to get it right through there, because if I go down here, I'm going to be too close to the header. If I try to go back this way, there's not enough space between the body and the frame to get all this wiring over the top of it. And if I route it up this way, I'm just going to be going right along the header. So really the only spot is right here. So we're going to drill right through that. I got a 2-inch hole saw here. Hole dozer, it ought to go right through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another option there. You can put them this way. You just can't get as many seats in here. Room for 4 back here and some luggage space, which we plan on using this as a merch vehicle. So what do you think, Marjorie?
You do kind of need the space for merch.
I don't know. I'm not good at making decisions. I mean, I kind of like it like this,
All
but
back here for merch, and you can see forward.
That's about as tight as you could get. That's about as far forward as you can go with that one and this one, and an adult seat in it.
I mean, one thing about having all the seats, I don't think she can have all that weight. We'll be bottomed out, won't we?
Might be.
And do we really need 10 seats? Just saying. Yeah.
It wasn't the way I was planning on doing it, but this may be the best way to do it, you know?
I just feel like there's more floor room like that.
If you took it on some sort of trip, you'd have more room for luggage and stuff this way.
So we could still do what? 2, 4, 6?
You can fit 6 people in it, you know?
Yeah.
Which
I think
is,
let's just leave it like that.
that's more than us, so I guess it's gonna be this way right here. So Ralph, you wanna start making the mounts?
Yeah.
Are you stuck? Come on. Here, move that over. Come on. You can do it. You grumble a lot.
Oh,
Go
you
down
passed
a
it,
little
you
bit.
passed it.
Down.
Right there.
Right there.
So you need to make 2 legs just like the other thing has.
11.5. These are only 9 3/4.
So you're gonna have to raise it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Make some short ones. All right, I made it through the first layer. Now I just got to get through the second. It's right up against it. Look how close it is. My ratchet chop saw here. I'm through.
Woo!
Where'd you get your shoes at? Look at this.
I picked these babies up at the Royal King.
Oh gosh, look at her shoe choice today. So I think Squeeze is wearing a pair too, isn't she?
Yeah, we're matching.
Oh gosh, Squeeze, you got these shoes on too?
Yeah.
Oh, fancy.
Hey, they're comfy.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
So I'm gonna weld it like that, but before I'm gonna drill 2 holes like that and then weld this part
Nice.
to the frame.
Now I'm gonna start routing our wires through it, see if this hole's big enough. We got a couple different harnesses to go through there. I'm not gonna start with the biggest one because I'm afraid if I do, I won't be able to get the smaller ones through. We'll start with the small ones. We are gonna put a grommet around this, but I'll probably split the grommet and put it on after everything's done. So this is our transmission harness right here. That's our main plug for the transmission, and here's a fuse for it. We're just gonna have to run our power wires for all this stuff. Once we go this routed, we'll tuck the excess out of the way and tie it up off the exhaust. This is our drive-by-wire throttle. This is our main power supply. I can't wait to hear it run.
I'm so excited.
You know it's got a hog leg cam. It's got the thumper cam.
Woo!
You never even had one of them. Well, no, we had one of them in the Malibu. That's right.
Did we?
Yeah, we had a thumper cam in the Malibu, and it sounded awesome. Can we fit the main harness through here now with all that? Oh, yeah. Perfect. That is going to be all of our main plugs right there. I think I'll go ahead and plug them in just to make sure it fits. The main power. This is the drive-by-wire. This is your main inputs and outputs here. Obviously, we do not have a battery on this car. You don't want to have this hooked up to power when you're doing all this stuff. And there's your transmission. This is the first time I've used the Terminator X Max and used the drive-by-wire. The motorhome, we use the transmission control, but we're using all the functions it has here. It has a built-in 1-bar map sensor we're going to use here, so we'll just run a vacuum line from here up to a port on our intake manifold. Mount it right about there. We'll still be able to see all of our indicator lights. We're not over the floor level. It all looks pretty clean. We might even be able to poke this back through and mount that inside there.
You want to talk to him about your finger?
I broke it.
Broke it? How'd you break it?
Playing football.
Playing football. Poor Ralphie.
You got it?
Yeah.
Very nice, sir. Was there measuring involved, or were we just winging this too?
No, I just won it.
I knew it.
That's my boy.
There's a couple individual wires here I gotta poke through here as well. Ah, right in my face.
I seen that one coming.
Weld this. Literal dimes.
Literal, let me see.
Dimes.
We're gonna figure out now where we're gonna put our MSD solid state relay and where we're gonna put our fuse boxes, because I am gonna tie into some of the factory wiring, I think, to make the lights and stuff work. But for the most part, I'm just gonna run the brand new fuse boxes to power all this stuff, because I don't know anything about the condition of the stock stuff.
Literal dimes.
Literally dimes. Beautiful, son, beautiful. I've used these for the last several cars we've done. We've never had any trouble with them. They're like 20 bucks, and you have all your power supply fuses, and you have a common ground if you want it. Put your main power into here, your main ground out there. Usually I put 2 of them per car. I usually do like 1 for constant power, 1 for switch power. That's what we're gonna do here. After some thought, I decided to mount the solid state relay up here, because this is where we're gonna leave our battery, because we already have 60% of the weight on the back. We're gonna put it right back in the stock location, and that way we'll have the shortest cable coming from the battery to our main power supply into this. These high current solid state relays can power 35 amps times 4 channels. It's got the donkeys, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I wanna mount this bad boy right here. We got a 3/16 drill bit. The last 2 times I tried to install one of these with self-tappers, I busted this bracket. So, try not to do that this time.
Oh. I caught something.
Damn, son.
Let's see it squeeze. Ooh, that's different. I like it. Looks good.
Ah! Broke your finger. Oh, I forgot you. What is that?
What did you do?
It's tight. Dang it! That one's twisted. This one.
There you go. We got these straight from the school.
Oh, yeah.
Marge found these on Marketplace like a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
And went and got them. We got like 10 of them. So,
They may or may not had to have back to my trailer for me.
come on. Ralphie's marking where this is at so that he can clean it off the bare metal and weld this on. Right, Ellie? Huh? Are you gonna good at welding? No, I don't want to. Oh no, I shouldn't have asked. She's so in your face. Where did Miss Piggy go?
I don't know.
She's gotta be asleep somewhere.
Boom.
You've been in the mud. I see it.
Have you been in the mud?
I'm gonna start out running wire to our electric fan up here. You always wanna refer to like a amperage chart. If you know the amperage of a certain thing, like your fuel pump, your fan, or whatever it may be, you need to have a wire that's properly sized for what you're powering. Electric fans tend to pull a lot of amps, so we're going with a big heavy gauge wire here. It's a good thing to check the charts on that.
Oh, hot. Very hot.
He likes to cool stuff off afterward.
Mm-hmm. It's cool.
The way this factory plug is, it's made for a connection like this, so I'm just gonna boop that in there once I get it crimped down. Oh, heat shrink it too to be fancy, Marge. Oh, that's professional, isn't it?
So fast.
So this is just gonna be a short run from here to here, and we'll cut it off right there. So that's good. Anything that has a lot of amperage, the shorter run you can make on it, the better. I'm just gonna put it on this channel right here. And you can trigger these either with a positive source from right here or a ground source down here. All you really have to do is a big heavy power in, a small ground source here. That just powers the whole thing. And then these are your triggers. Like I said, either positive or negative. I absolutely love these things. It makes it a lot more simple. Ground source here now. Plug it in. That. I'm going to hook this to a good ground. And I could go straight to the battery. I'll probably put like a junction block here so we can ground other things though. You concur?
Yes.
Thank you. I like these little junction blocks here. I got some red ones and black ones. So we're going to use this black one here for a ground source. Once we run a cable over to this, we'll have a good ground source. I've got some 4-gauge welding cable here. That's what I'm going to use for our charging wire from our alternator, because in the past, like with my Maverick, I had trouble with it and we had a 10-gauge wire on there, which I thought was enough. But you have an alternator that can put out like 100 amps. Some of these can put out 200 amps. You need a really big cable going to it. You can get this stuff at like a welding supply company is usually your best place to get it. I think they have it here locally at Tractor Supply as well. Got a nice crimping tool here. Got our claw hammer, of course. There we go. What's going on there?
I don't know, they won't hush.
I love heat shrink.
Satisfying.
This is gonna go straight from the positive side of the battery right down there to our alternator. Like that. I'm gonna attach it to the back side here to our big main power stud. And the only other thing we have to hook up to the alternator is this single wire that has the resistor built into it we used in the last video. It just has to go to a switch power source and this thing will turn on. When you're cutting this stuff, I always like to leave a little bit extra because you don't really know. You might want to put a battery in that's got the post on the opposite side or something. So I'm gonna leave it just a little bit long and we'll cut this thing right here. And then once we put our battery cable end on, we'll connect these. This is our main power and ground from the Terminator X. It's supposed to go directly to the computer. We're gonna tuck it back into this as well on the opposite side and go up to the battery. They give you plenty of length on this. We'll tie all this stuff back out of the way off the headers when we get done. So I'm gonna route this guy probably down across through here, away from heat sources, and up to the battery because it's long enough to do it. You know, it'll be perfect. We won't even have to cut it. Yeah, I've seen several guys not follow the instructions on this and power it, you know, to their old cigarette lighter or something and end up having trouble from it. It even says it right here, connect directly to the battery. So that's what we're gonna do. The kit even comes with a connector, so you don't even have to get the connectors separately. Wide open, everything you got. Broke finger.
Okay.
Feels like Phoenix, huh?
Yeah. I remember we used to do this with a lighter.
Yeah, that was the good old days. I'm gonna use some more of this 4-gauge to power our solid state relay here. Because like I said, this thing can pull a ton of amps. And this will also go directly to the battery. Everything worked about there.
Yeah. Is that the last piece, Wall?
I think so, yeah.
Good job.
We'll check to make sure, though.
Probably need a vacuum and then we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use another channel off here to power our key on fuse box. Go right here. Once again, a heavy gauge wire. Ralphie, I'm gonna hand this to you. We'll route it up there and through that hole I drill, okay?
Fuse block?
Fuse block, yep.
That's probably good.
Hey, thank you to whoever sent me all this wire in the fan mail, because it's really coming in handy right now. That will go right there. Let me heat shrink that. These things light up too when it blows a fuse.
I'm gonna vacuum out this floor.
I'm going to start going through the loose wires here in the Terminator X. This is our main ECU switch power source. It's red with a white stripe. There's a couple other red with white stripes, but this one comes out of the main harness. So it's going to go right here. Instead of much shorter than one of them. We use that on the next one, right? Main thing about the power sources on this, you do not want to power your transmission and your ECU from the same source because it can backfeed power from the transmission. So you want to separate those with a relay. I'll show you that here in a little while. I'm just going to put it in the first position here. Obviously this won't get power until we put a fuse in it. I usually don't hook the battery up until I wire the entire car. So that means we have main power and switch power. So the ECU will kick on if we hook everything up right now. This green wire here is used to directly power your fuel pump. But since we have a hog leg pump, our pump pulls too many amps to power it directly. Like our motorhome is powered directly, but it has a smaller pump. So this is a 340 liter per hour pump we're planning on using. So what we're going to use this wire to turn on our solid state relay to send power back to the pump, which that can do 35 amps instead of 15. So we'll be fine that way. So we're going to run this forward instead of backwards. We ran it down the frame rail here. Hook it up to this trigger point. These triggers are set up the same way these are. We're gonna put it on this pin here. So we wanna put this signal wire right in here. Tighten this down on top of it. And now we're gonna wire from here straight to our pump. This blue and white wire here, we're not gonna be using. So this can power a traditional tachometer, but we always just use the digital dash. So I'm gonna pull it back out and we'll just wrap it up and tape it back to the harness.
What are you doing? Why aren't you cutting your zip ties?
I'm sorry, I haven't got to that point yet.
You need to do better.
I'm sorry.
To get on my level.
The heavy solid red wire goes directly to the battery as well. This is power to the relay for your fuel pump and fuel injectors. This is the first time I've actually looked at the floor. So we got quite a bit of rock right here in the corner. So probably what we'll do is put like a piece of 90-degree angle iron from here to here, and then we'll put sheet metal down to cover our holes. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to patch it here and there or cover the whole thing. I don't know. Quite a few holes.
Quite a few holes.
It's solid. It doesn't feel like you're going to fall through or anything, but
Here's a
That's-
hole.
I think there's a lot of bracing under here.
And the crack, and that crack, and that crack.
A lot of cracks. Got some right there. You got some in this corner. You got some in that corner. And get a couple holes there. But this is the worst right here. We probably have a piece of angle about that long, Ralphie.
Yep.
I would think up there. You want to go see what we got? Take a measurement on this and see if we got a piece?
Yeah. 36 and a half. 37, and we need 36 and a quarter. That's like perfect almost. Literally perfect.
Whoa.
Did you have to cut it?
No.
No, it fits perfect. You must be off on your measurements.
You said it was 36 and a half, bro.
Still worked, didn't it?
We have to lengthen the wire just a little bit. That should be long enough to go to the battery. Oh, she's coming down the hill. Next step, this little black wire here on the main harness, it's supposed to go to a good chassis ground. I'm going to bolt it right here to this engine mount because it's solid mounted, welded to the frame. So this should be long enough right there. It's just a small wire.
You're so bloody.
I got me a little 3/8 bolt there and a lock washer. I'll screw this down. Now we have a good clean bare metal spot. And that's gonna be it tonight because it's quitting time.
Woo!
So, me and Marge went to town to get a piece of aluminum to cover the floor, 2 pieces. And I wasn't gonna video it, and then it started doing this. So the aluminum is like bouncing back and forth and blinding us while we drive.
I can't even get near the mirror.
Yeah. So you might want to not put a 10-foot sheet of aluminum out the back of your truck if you want to see what you're doing.
Oh, Lord.
You can't make it up, can you?
No.
Look how she's having to
I
drive.
keep thinking there's blue lights behind me because something's flashing.
Well, that wouldn't be abnormal, would it? Hopefully it's not this way in the vehicle.
I
when it
know.
is installed,
We'll be
huh?
riding with sunglasses on.
What's going on here, guys?
We're cooking. Ralphie wants to cook a steak because he watched somebody on YouTube cook a steak. So now he's cooking steak.
What have I told y'all about watching YouTube stuff?
I'm telling you what.
All right, we'll see how the steak turns out.
Ralphie.
Ralphie the cook out here. What's the secret here, Ralphie? Butter and salt?
Buttered sausage?
Buttered sausage.
Exactly. We got metal today, me and Mom. And this is aluminum.
What?
Yeah, so this will never rust. and it'll stay shiny like this. So the plan is glue it and screw it down the floor. We're trying to figure out what to do with the floor to make it look good, and with something like this, you don't really have to worry about it. It's not gonna rust like steel does. So I also got something that you've been wanting me to get through off. I got the big tube.
Oh, yes.
So this is rated for metal adhesion as well, and we got a big Tonkin gun.
I'm so proud of you. It just like...
I thought you would like that. This is cheaper than buying the small tubes, so.
Actually?
Well, I mean, the tube's more expensive, but it's almost 3 times as big. It's 28 ounces instead of
So
10.
per ounce, it's cheaper to do the big
it's
one.
like 3 times the size, but like double the price.
You definitely did the math.
Oh yeah, I did. So we need to go ahead and measure this out and cut it out. Well, they're cooking, aren't they?
Yeah, they're kicking.
You might want to turn it down a little bit, but your mom burns them every time.
That is false news right there, if I ever heard it.
So the width on this is longer than 5 feet. So they didn't have 2 8-foot pieces. So I had to get an 8-foot and a 10-foot. And even a 10-foot, obviously, is not big enough to do it in one piece. So we're gonna have to cut both pieces about in half to make this work. So we'll have 48 inches of width here, which is that far. And then we'll have a break right there. Then we'll have another piece up there. That's the plan.
This thing's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
So let me measure this out real quick before I get to doing any wiring. And I can go ahead and cut it, and then maybe y'all can install it. So I talked to my buddy Neighbors, the glass guy, about getting this window replaced here.
Oh, it's broke.
It's like shattered.
Yeah.
And this guy right here.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the glass, he asked me how this installs. I'm like, I don't know. Look at this.
Does it come out?
We never knew.
Oh my gosh!
We always thought the windows don't roll down, but they actually do.
That's so cool!
I thought you just open the door and leave it open.
I did
That is
too.
crazy.
I never knew that the glass went down.
Wow!
That's awesome.
So hopefully next week we're gonna get the glass put in it.
That's actually surprising.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
I would have never thought that.
I know we haven't talked about it, but we're trying to get it ready for Power Tour. And we don't have long until that happens. We're starting at the very back edge. It's 65 inches, which is the widest point in the whole van. We're trying to map this out here. We only got one shot really at this. 8 1/4.
Don't worry, I got her plate. Got her steak sauce.
How many people you plan on feeding? Because it looks like you have way too much meat
That's
there.
all we're eating though. There's no size.
Oh,
Is it good?
It is pretty good, considering.
Okay.
Considering what? It's a steak.
Maybe.
You did good. Ooh, it's close to mine. It's your first steak. That's cool.
Mine's is good. She makes a really good steak.
Mom
Mm-hmm.
does make good steak.
Like steakhouse.
I think
level.
she uses like garlic though, right?
I do put some garlic on mine.
That's good.
is it everything you'd hoped it would be?
Yes.
After that auxiliary meal, we're back at working. I think what I'm going to do is break it on this line right here. I just think that would be cleaner. So if I don't, it's going to go just past that and then go around the corner, you know? And I think having it break on that would look better
I
than having it
agree.
break just right past it.
Yeah.
And you have to cut it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier and look better breaking it there. So whatever that distance is there is what we'll do. Like 43 inches is what we need to be. Mom, tell them about Squeeze.
Squeeze is not feeling good right now.
Both the girls have been going back and forth.
She was sick the other day and got better, just like a 24-hour thing. And then today she come home and she just got a real high fever. So I don't know.
Squeeze is on the couch again, unfortunately. We got our metal shear set up here. I don't think we're going to be able to go very far with this, but maybe it'll get us started at least. If we were just cutting the thin part off, we might could roll it out of the way, but this is so wide, I don't really think we can. Man, I can't even feel it cutting it. I think go that way just a little bit. Rotate. Okay. Well, we can't really go much farther, can we? Maybe a little bit there. That's about all we can do right there, isn't it? I can't roll this out, it's too wide. All right, we're gonna have to cut a different way. We bought these when we vinyl sided our whole house ourselves. Our old house. Should twist up there.
Light.
We'll use that for something else.
Yeah. Straighten it back out. with this thinner part, we can actually go through here. I'm able to use a shear for this. It's way easier. There we go. See if it fits.
Make it do the wobble. Like, make it.
That's my favorite.
There we go. Right there.
I'm still absolutely flabbergasted that those windows roll down.
I know, it's awesome, isn't it?
We've owned it for a couple years and had no idea.
Crazy.
I wonder what all these hooks are for on the outside of this thing. It's got hooks everywhere. So now we just got to cut the front half. What do you think, Ralphie? 38?
Yeah.
Hello, Piggy.
You go pig.
I can't see my mark for your chin. Okay.
She don't care.
You missed the steaks. Where were you? No. I need to...
Is she gonna be nice?
She hasn't bit me in a few days.
Oh, it's happening.
Every time I say it, that's when she does it. Well, we figured out you can use this small shear to do a big piece. It's just getting it started is a real pain, but once you get past a certain point, it's not too bad, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have some extra aluminum, huh?
Yep.
This was $125 a sheet, if you're wondering what that cost. It's 16 gauge.
That is literally so lightweight. What the heck?
It's easy, huh? I know we got to notch it. We're actually going to take that hook out, aren't we?
Probably.
Why?
It's broken. It's right in the way. We got to go all the way forward for this to work. It needs to butt right up against the wheel tub back here.
Want to mark it?
Yeah, we'll mark it. Hey, it fits under it.
So we just need to cut the hook off real quick.
Yeah, the hook's the only thing, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal. Oh, look at that.
If we just know how to weld aluminum.
That's all we need, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
Man, it's nice that it fits underneath that.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's looking really good.
So we need to mark out even lines where the screws are going to be, put little dots or whatever, and then it's got to be glued and screwed.
Got you.
Every 6 inches, I guess, like this.
Yeah.
And we'll use the width of the measuring tape to get it off the edge, because you don't want it right against the edge. All right, make it happen.
Right.
Mark all those.
Yeah, this has got to look good. It's Mom's ride.
Marge is out here cleaning up her old tank, because I got a weld on it at some point. If you saw the other video, we got rust holes here, unfortunately. Cool looking tank, though.
Yep.
The kids got all the edges done, and I helped them do the middle, so we're going to do 1 foot apart on the screws in the middle, so we don't have 10,000 million screws. I guess it's time to glue it and screw it, Ralphie. We were going to weld that to the side, that piece of angle, but then we realized that that panel is supposed to come off to service the door mechanism. So I think we're just going to run some screws in to this little panel here and don't do nothing there, and we'll run some screws down into it, and it'll definitely help anyway. Well, I was getting the rust we knocked out by working in here. We're going to go around all the rust holes to try to seal them out from the weather. And we're going to stay a couple inches off the edges so it doesn't squish out past everything. The screws ought to be holding anyway. I want to get an idea of the consistency of this. I've never used this. Ooh, that's nice, Ralphie.
It is.
Real nice. Something like this, Ralphie.
Is it pump easy?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. We're just doing this to, one, seal out a little bit and keep the squeaks and rattles down to a minimum. It's not too bad, huh?
No.
Right to it now.
Tasha, I think we ought to start doing a My Wife's Family Picture of the Day.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think? You know?
That's hilarious.
I'm thinking we're going to throw in right here My Wife's Family Picture of the Day.
Okay.
Really nice one of the old home place. There you go. You're welcome, guys. This is the wire coming off our alternator. Like I said, it's going to be a switch power source, so we'll put it right here as well. Hopefully we'll have a charging system. That's always a good thing to have. What is she in the paperwork?
Got your instructions.
No. Thank you. All right, well, you ready?
Yeah.
Got it all glued. We're going to push it all the way to the front like that. Should sit straight in place. As long as it's all the way forward, Ralph, should be good. I would get some screws at 4 corners first, and then start doing all your other ones, okay? I'm gonna start wiring the transmission now. Here's your 4 wires for your transmission harness. This is a constant power source. This is your switch power, which, like I said, cannot be connected to the same spot as the Terminator X switch power, so we're gonna separate with a relay. This is a chassis ground, and this goes to the positive side of your brake light switch, so it knows when you hit the brakes to unlock the converter. The brake one's the only one I'm gonna have to wait to do until we do the chassis harness. Just a standard 40 amp automotive relay. So if you look on the back of the relay where the pins are, they all have numbers. The only big amperage is going in pin 30 and out pin 87 when it's kicked on. What I did was pin 30 comes straight from the constant power supply on this one. So pin 87 is right here. It comes out and powers the transmission. Now the way we're triggering it is pin 86 is getting power from the switch key on power supply right here. And then pin 85 is going straight to a ground source, which is right here. You can switch the relay from pin 85 or pin 86. So if you were switching it from a ground, you could actually loop the wire from pin 30 over to pin 86 to give both of them constant power. And you could kick it on off of the ground source right here, which I really like switching everything off grounds. It's safer than switching everything off positives. But that's how it's hooked up. That way the power supply is separated out so it can't backfeed to here. There you go, that's how that's done.
Boom. There's all of them.
Looking good.
Ralph says his hands wore out. I'm gonna have to conk this for
You
him.
just do it way quick compared to me.
That'll be good, huh?
Yeah.
So it takes about 1.5 28 ounce tubes to do the floor of your Metromite for all y'all wondering.
That'll be covered by a seat. No one will ever notice.
You need to come back my way on this side at least.
There you go.
There.
You can
Okay.
hear it. Boom.
You had video on me, hadn't you?
Okay.
We got the floor down.
Yep.
Can you dance on it, you think? What is that?
That was hilarious.
What in the world am I looking at here?
You got some dirty knees.
No.
Well,
Good job, buddy.
guys. Yeah, looks good. Hopefully that will seal us out and quieten us down a little bit, huh?
Yes.
It'd been nice to put some like insulation under the whole thing, but we don't have that much insulation around here. Now I'm gonna run my main power and main grounds for this right here. So it's gonna come straight off the battery, it's constant power, to this lug. And then we're gonna run a ground straight to this one. I'll probably come from this one we made earlier.
So we're gonna test fit this seat.
You need just enough room for your feet down there. It depends on who's sitting there on the foot size, you know.
seems good.
Some people have bigger feet than others.
It's a nice thing to have.
Like mom.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. 15 double D, is that it? Double E? Or triple E? Is it?
It's changed over the years.
This is nonsense.
We have confirmed this is the perfect spot for this seat. We have no idea what's below these holes. We'll find out with the drill. Here, do the back ones while I relax. I feel like I'm back in school.
So Waz gonna paint our newly made legs here with our Sweet Patina Blackout.
Go to sweetpotato.com, use code SleepyDude, get 5% off your order.
No. That's gonna keep our wires all bundled up nicely. We'll go all the way up through here like that. Well, United Parcel Smasher just showed up, and we got the center section for our rear axle. Now, that center section is absolutely wore out. Like, I've never seen one in so bad shape. I can't wait to see, yes.
Like that.
It's like half a turn of backlash on the thing. So I can't wait to see what's wrong in there. But I pulled the axle on it a few weeks ago, and it's 28 spline. So I ordered a whole new center section because I wanted to go posi. I wanted to change the gear ratio, put new bearings in it. It just made more sense to just get the whole third member, because by the time you buy all those pieces, and spend all the time assembling it, it's not that much different. It comes in a 5-gallon bucket. I can't believe it. Oh, that is a pretty genius way to ship it, isn't it?
It is.
All right, take the bucket, take the bucket. Oh, look at that, how shiny. So this is a posi unit now instead of open differential. We have a 325 gear, 28 spline, brand new housing here.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. Look, brand new yoke. I opted for a 1310 short yoke, which is what the factory U-joint size is on this. It ought to be able to hold the donkeys. I've had super good luck with 9-inch Fords. They're just stout. It's just what they are. Big thank you to the guys at Quick Performance for getting this out to me quickly to get this project done. We just got to get it in there at some point, don't we?
Yep.
But that's not going to be tonight. It's awful late. We will see you guys in the morning after that paint dries.
Mabel. All right, come on. We gotta go back to the bed. Come on. She gave up. What? You get the bed. She bots me. Come on
You
now.
got to go to bed.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Straight to your toes.
Come on, love.
Feeling any better, Squeezle?
A little bit.
We're going to get some work out of you tomorrow.
Maybe.
Next morning, we're ready to work. We went ahead and sat the seat in here. They're about to bolt it down, and I'm continuing wiring. Trying to bundle up all the wiring and make it really clean so it's not touching anything it shouldn't. We're gonna get as much done as we can today. I was a little bit worried that some of these screws were gonna go into the frame from the body, and then I noticed that the body's welded to the frame. That seems odd for a body on frame vehicle to be welded to the frame, but if you look along the edge, show them, Ralphie, where it's welded to it. Look,
There.
it's welded.
There.
Welded to the frame, so nothing to worry about there.
Good morning, Shark Kitty. Oh, you're coming to see me. Hello.
I don't know how in the world you've got yourself in there.
It took a while. I had to take the air filter off to get in here. I need to be in here around these wires, and it's easier on my back to get in here than it is to lean over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it out of the fan blade on it.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Then all 4 bolts.
This is our constant power supply, like we talked about last night. Cut it right here, and we should be good to go. I gotta get some battery cable ends. I have normal ones, but I really don't have enough mount points on those. Onto our ground source here. I'm really thinking I might just go straight to the battery on this, just to make sure it's a really good source. I was gonna go to that motor mount, but now I'm questioning my thoughts on that. We have enough wire. We're here. We might as well do it, right?
Yep.
The driver's front. Oh. Not that.
This is gonna be so cool with all the seats in here.
I'm so excited.
They haven't even
about
seen
it.
the seat belts we got.
Ooh.
I got all that attached there. So now we'll have a good solid ground source straight from the battery. Well, you got a wheel tub here, which is nice. So that's how these seats are actually made to be mounted on the wheel tub. I think we can go forward a little bit, you know?
Don't scoot it on my floor.
Yes, ma'am. Like that? What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm comfortable there. I mean, we ain't gonna have Stretch Armstrong in here or nothing. That'll give us the most cargo space in the back. Give Squeeze plenty of room. Give us a Squeeze update, Mom.
Squeeze is still sick. She has
She acted better last night, but she's sick again today. I can tell we're not level sitting there. How far off are we, Ralph?
This is 11. Like 10 1/4.
So we're about 1 inch off?
Yeah.
Okay. I have an idea. How thick is that?
I don't know.
1 inch.
Okay.
You put this here,
Wow.
weld it to it,
You're so smart, Dad.
and then you can bolt right down through that.
Okay.
That's the smartest thing I've ever heard you say. What is that?
What?
Oh, it's an earbud thing. That's
An earbud?
You know what's missing?
No.
Crusty,
Quit.
musty kid's ear hole.
No. Don't touch other people's earbuds.
That's nasty.
Look, like that right there, Ralph.
I got you.
That'll be perfect.
Why do you like using that so much?
It's easier. It's way easier. See? Hard doing. Boom. Easy.
Trying to tidy up this side as well, so we don't have anything getting in the belt. Literally dimes, son. Literally dimes. It's great. So I'm making my own battery cables because they gotta be pretty long. So you want to explain what happened here?
So the car was jacked up in the front, so the weight was on the rear axle. So I was drilling, and he said it was a cross member.
It was like an inch below the floor, and this has cross members that are about an inch thick. I was like, it's just a cross member. So
it was the rear end, but I never drilled all the way through. So
You drilled our rear end?
yeah.
he was like, this is really thick, and I'm like, hold on. So I go to jack the back end up. He's like, it just moved, and I was like, oh no. So thankfully we didn't go through it, but he had started to drill into the rear end. Don't drill your rear end. So I'm hooking this battery cable straight to the lug on the starter, so it gets direct power from the battery. I really don't like running it through anything else before it gets to the starter. Sometimes I'll use the starter as like a junction point for my charging wire and stuff, but the odd layout on this car, I didn't do that. It's really funny riding in rough seats.
It's gonna be funny, period. Driving it, riding in it, it's gonna be awesome.
It was so strange to drive with the inline 6. I always felt like I was about to hit somebody.
Yeah.
You can't drive this. You drive too close to the center line. You'd be over in their lane.
Oh, they'll move over.
You missing the daddy stuff? Yeah.
Are they on there?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Need to go over to the battery. I'd rather it be a little long than a little short. Good job.
I'm trying to scratch this.
I'm taking this Ford style starter solenoid off because we don't need it for this application. And this battery cable is too short. I don't leave nothing on the car that we don't need. I need you to find some turbo couplers upstairs that are 4-inch diameters. I'll fit on that throttle body. It'll be about that big around.
Alright.
So we can maybe make the pipe get farther away from the heat. Okay? Thank you.
The one to the front.
Okay, it looks like you need to scoot the seat forward a little bit or something. Is that good?
Yeah. Okay.
Find some stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, awesome. Maybe we can make some sort of intake to come down here now. I'm making my own cable to go down to the block from the battery. I'm bolting this right to the block. There's a bolt hole just above the pan rail here. So we have a good connection to the block for the starter. Because your starter's your biggest thing that pulls amps.
So we got some seat belts on. They're pretty awesome. Look,
Wow.
this blue color. That is so cool. This is literally my favorite color. Whoever picked these seat belts out did a great job. That'll match really nice.
Awesome. Maybe you and Bub can get those installed.
My leg's freaking. Why would this go? Alright, go ahead. Alright, you can let go now.
What do you think, bro? Yeah. Got some 4-inch piping here. Already got the beads rolled in the end of it. Maybe we can get this away from the engine and down lower because heat rises, right?
Yeah.
Oh, tight fit in it.
That's always good.
I've had to heat these up before to get them on. Apparently she's done.
Hey, Doopy.
Wow, that was loud. Having to soften it up a little bit. It's a really tight fit. Got to get our cold air intake hot.
There we go. You holding it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that might work out just perfect. Actually, I kind of guessed at it, but didn't even cut that metal pipe.
Cool.
It's not the best place, but better. We need to make a little scoop. Scoops air down to that, huh? I don't even know where this 45-degree coupler came from. Some turbo project back in the day, I guess. That's just a parts store air filter down there. Just made my own cold air intake. We did a cold air intake. We patched the floors. We mounted the seats. That's done. Oh, I need to get the tensioner on the motor and put the belt on it too, don't I?
Yes.
I had to figure out what tensioner works, and I actually had to get this Holley tensioner 97-151. So this works with the Holley water pump and is the correct spacing to tension our belt here. I've got a link in the description to all the parts we've used from Holley. You can click on that list and it'll take you right to their website and show you everything we've gotten lately. All right, good job, Ralph. It's not 8 rib, so that won't be, maybe one of these will be the right length. So this is gonna be too long here, guys. Gotta be shorter than this. Thank you, sir. How convenient. Water pump has a smooth pulley, which means it turns on the back side of the belt. That one's really close, but it's a little short, Ralph. Longer than this and shorter than this. We do not have one the right length here. So we'll take what we got that's closest, and I'm also going to cut this old belt here and make it the right length. All right, you got it held, Ralph?
Yep.
So right there, maybe a tad longer would be perfect. Perfect. So we got our handy dandy measure here, our belt we taped together. Now this one's just barely too short. Looks like we need about a 520, maybe a 525 belt. So it should say something like KO60 520 or 525.
We're gonna go to town and get some parts and a belt.
Well, Squeeze has made an appearance. All she has to know is we're going to town. She's in no matter what. Better not curve that bumper. It's so much farther out than what I thought it was, you know?
She's out there.
It's really far out. We found one in the gates up here. A 525, we'll try that. This is just the best car.
It is a good car.
It does feel quite a bit cooler in here now that we got the windows tinted. I really like it. All right, will this fit now? Did Squeeze got a Slurpee while we were out? You're wondering. Oh, that's, I think, maybe perfect, Ralph. All right, let off. Oh, yeah. Is that going to touch the crank pulley on the way around? It's not even touching that, is it? That's free spin. So this is not even serving a purpose. That's going to be close, but I think it'll work right there. The only thing I'd be worried about this whole setup is slipping on the water pump pulley because it doesn't have a lot of engagement there. If so, we may have to go with a slightly longer belt and wrap it over the top of this and down. We'll see if that works first.
He jumped up here.
Spoiled kitty. This is the kind of cable link I decided to use. I believe it's for a diesel truck where you have multiple batteries linked together. I definitely could have came off here with a singular cable to like a junction pin like this, but a lot of this stuff says it goes straight to the battery, so that's what I did. Now we just got a couple cables here to go to our negative side.
You're awful noisy. Shut up.
I'm going to use this style because we had it on the other one. So I really expected to have more options at the parts store, but there just wasn't a lot. So there we go. There's our spaghetti to go into our battery. Should be everything.
It's a lot of spaghetti noodles.
It is.
Do you like spaghetti?
Is she? Maybe spaghetti.
Yeah, there it was.
I am stuck. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck. Hold on, I've kind of got it on there. It's kind of cross-threaded. Oh, it's cross-threaded. I can't fix it. Oh. I think we're just going to tighten these seatbelts up once we get it on the lift, but we got all them installed, and I love the color. It looks great.
Matches
It
your
matches
sticker.
really well. Yeah, it does.
We might eventually recover these in some kind of crazy color. Mom's already been looking on the internet.
Yep.
Of course she has.
Good job, guys.
High five, broken finger. Good.
Come on. Come on. Hi. Hi, Flower.
Y'all checking it out?
They just jump right in here, don't they? Good job, guys. A little close on this side. I've got to try to figure out the fuel tank situation. This sits right against the cross members on the floor. And our Holley drop-in fuel pump deal is 5 inches wide. So you've got to have a gap between the cross members of at least 5 inches. You can see the wear marks where the cross members sat right here. The only spot we have that much room is right here, and we have 5 1/4, or right here. We have 5 3/4 if that tank goes all the way to the edge. And that'll give us enough room, hopefully, to get the fuel lines over the frame rail right here and up to the engine. It's gonna be a short trip. I mean, from here to there to the engine. You have to drill a 3 1/4 inch hole, so this is not big enough. We're gonna have to mark all this out and do something a little bit bigger than that. And this is like an unfortunate spot here, because that's where our crossmember is. Kind of halfway in, halfway out of this guy here, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like that. We need a hole here. We really don't need a hole right there. And it's already there.
I'm gonna try to look at the top of the rear axle.
Oh, where you drilled it?
Feel it. Huh? Big indentation.
Because of the cross members and the width of this thing, all this is a no-go area. This would work and this would work. And because of all this already being here and the cross member being in the way, I'm really thinking about putting in a nice spot right here that's, you know, unmolested.
Like putting it there? Like drilling a new hole?
Yeah, like putting this back in and sealing this up.
Okay. This one will.
Making a new one right here. I think that's our best option right now. I mean, you can make something work here, but you're gonna be right in the middle of all this mess. You already got a hole in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
We're gonna tighten these up now. One right beside it. Okay. Okay.
Does it fit?
Yeah.
It works good? So these are the 72-inch long belts. They make these in like a 60 and a 72, so I bought the 72 because we got a tall mount to our floor. Oh, whoa, Ralphie. Y'all ready to go to school?
I'm in the back of the bus.
That works, huh?
Yeah.
Safety first, guys.
Can I mark it off?
Seatbelts?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll let you mark it off. Most of everything that's left is the fuel system, right?
Yeah.
And the rear end. We don't even have that on the list.
Fuel tank.
Well, I've committed to drilling it right here. I really don't like this spot that much. I really wish it was back here because fuel sloshes to the rear when you're accelerating. If we're gonna be racing it or something, we're gonna have to have a lot of fuel in it. I can't have it back here because we got just all these cross members in the way. So this is gonna have to be it. There we go. We got a hole.
That was brutal.
That was rough, yeah. Well, that's what happens when you use a wood hole saw for metal. Well, this will make it easier to clean out. Look at the gravel down there. I wonder how you get gravel in your gas tank.
Unless somebody's trying to clean it before and put it in there.
Look, we got holes right there. We got to weld up. We're gonna flush this thing out some. At least you got better access now.
Yeah.
We've already rinsed this thing out several times. We'll see if anything new comes out. Oh yeah, rusty water. Is it pregnant?
Feel some.
Ralphie's over there trying to learn how to TIG weld. We got a TIG welder like 6 months ago. We still haven't learned how to use it correctly. Getting some drawings knocked out. Yep. Available at thesleeperdude.com. I just wanted to go over the whole thing and see where we have holes. We have more than I thought we did, because we have some over here. Tiny pinholes. From here all the way to there. I think we're good on this end though. Well, no we're not, right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I think I'm gonna try to weld a patch panel over this one. You know, weld on the gas tank. What could go wrong?
That kind of worked. That didn't. That didn't. That kind of worked right there.
Okay.
Trying to mark everything. This is just spot welds because there's a baffle in this thing. It definitely settled on this side wherever the vehicle's sitting. And it probably had water in the tank. And you sat there and rested it out. Trying to decide whether to make 2 patch panels or just try to dot these up individually, you know?
2 patch panels.
Dot them up individually.
Okay. At least we got a consensus.
Dang, son, look at that right there.
Oh, you welded a bead on that, didn't you?
Dang.
You're getting it figured out, aren't you?
Yeah.
I wish I had more training so I could help you, but I don't really know. You have to get your grandpa in here to show you any more than that.
Great.
Great grandpa, you're right, yeah. He was TIG welding back in the 60s.
It's a long time ago.
There's my patch. I'm gonna weld that in right there. I think I'm just gonna do another patch over this right here. I'm not gonna cut out anything. I'm just gonna weld right to it. We're gonna also coat it to try to seal it up after we get done. Thankfully, this has been sitting empty for years and years and years. I believe it's had more water in it than fuel in the last few years.
Getting better.
Oh,
That stuff.
looks good, buddy.
Then some of it's also not good, but
Yeah,
just started.
yeah, awesome.
There you go, it's welded up, Marge.
Looks good.
You got your skid plates installed.
Woohoo!
Did the best I could do with my popping welder. That thing still doesn't always work right. We put a new cable on it. It's a lot better, but it's still not what it should be. Hopefully it doesn't leak as bad as our hose does. Is it dripping?
I mean, do you want the truth?
Yes.
Yes, it's dripping.
Where?
The whole bottom's wet, Josh.
Looks like our shorter patch isn't leaking at all. And the longer one, looks like it has a couple leaks. So I don't see anything obvious. Like, it's not streaming, it's just seeping a little bit. So I'm gonna dry this off and coat this with JB Weld on the outside. And then we're gonna put a coating on the inside as well to hopefully stop this. But before, we couldn't even get any water in it because it just poured out those big holes. So we're getting closer. You know he's gonna get that figured out, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna do good at it.
The JB Weld comes out, and here comes Ralphie. His favorite tool right here.
It doesn't work good with the gas.
How do you know this?
Because I did that on the bottom of a mini bike carburetor hole, and it like flaked off.
You put JB Weld on a carburetor?
Yeah.
We'll see how it works. Squeeze would like this if she was over here. She likes playing with slime and stuff.
Should have everything glued together.
Oh, yeah. I wonder why the one leaked and the other one didn't.
I don't know. Was that the one that leaked?
This is the one that leaked, yeah. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully between this and the coating on the inside, we'll have no more seepage. We gotta get all the water out of this thing completely dry to do the next step. So while this is drying out, I'm gonna start doing the rear differential swap. This is why we're replacing the center section. This is topped out this direction. That's the other direction, and the car hasn't moved. So this should be like 8 thousandths or something, and it's, you know, 8 inches. We're just gonna pull the axles out, drop this guy out, drop the new one in, but it should be a big improvement. You don't wanna go out there and peg leg it doing burnouts, you know?
Exactly.
Our shoes still look good. All right, Ralph, we gotta go through these holes here and take these 4 bolts that are behind there and we can pull the axle.
Did you finish your drawing?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Awesome! It looks so good.
Looks awesome. Appreciate
Did
it.
great.
There you go. Them beefy boys, Ralph. I was actually surprised when I pulled this axle before that it was 28 spline. I really expected it to be 31 being a truck axle. Usually they say the 3 dots is a 31 spline and the slot is a 28, but this one wasn't. So we can leave these hanging about there. That should be out of our way plenty.
Did you leave a screw or bolt nut in there?
No, usually they're not that hard to pull out. That guy has not moved any, it don't look like. How is that stuck? I don't understand. Let me try a big slide hammer. Look at that. That's all it needed, huh?
Darn, son.
Usually the brake drum is enough. All the junk on the threads. The bottom two on a 9-inch you can't get a socket on. On an 8-inch you can. I have no idea who swapped a Ford 9-inch into this thing back when it had a inline 6 in it, but I'm really glad they did because I didn't have to do it. You can tell it's been swapped too because this is the factory shock mounts on this rear end, and here's the shock mounts here, so.
What would it have if it didn't have
I don't know what, International used a little bit of everything. Like this thing had a General Motors alternator, but a Ford starter solenoid. They used a little bit of everything. They were like AMC. These things are usually glued on pretty good. Trying not to mess this up.
Will it fall?
No, the studs will hold it. While I'm struggling, Ralphie's over here working on his welding cart that I guess came with his truck, huh? It was parked beside your truck. Got this one out of the junkyard. He wants to get the TIG on this. I think we're finally getting somewhere. I don't like to chisel down here because it's always sitting in fluid, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I know we put fluid in this because we always check our rear end.
Exactly.
Oh, there it comes. How black the fluid is.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
How pretty is it? I think I see chunks.
I don't even want to get my hands in it.
I think I can see the metallics from here.
What would Ernest say?
Ew.
Yeah, he would. They got these little copper or brass washers you're gonna catch. Look how thick it is when it goes into the pan. It looks like pudding.
Ew, it is like pudding. It just like so sludgy.
That might be the thickest gear oil we've ever took out of a
Look, you
vehicle.
see it? How it works?
I see it looks like chocolate or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it sit there and drain for a minute before I take this thing out so we don't sling it all over the shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's probably been 30 years since it's been going. Oh, Lee, that's so heavy. It's gotta be like close to 100 pounds. What went wrong? So where's all the slip? The open unit is what went out? It's not the pinion. This unit must be going out. Well, I thought it was pinion slop, but look, see that? It's tight. So that slop is in there. I really can't believe that it's the open diff that's messed up. I really did not expect that. I've never had one that had that much slop and it ended up being not the ring and pinion gear.
They were definitely doing burnouts.
But the big upgrade we're gonna have is a posi now. That's gonna be a big upgrade compared to this open diff here. If I'd known this ahead of time, I might have just bought a posi unit and swapped it out. But I was assuming that everything was shot in here. But turns out it looks like it's just the open diff. Since they used a paper gasket, it's gonna be really easy to clean this up. With our center section being brand new, we don't have to clean it up. We just maybe get some oil off of it. So this may be pretty easy. Look at that. Ooh, that's pretty fun. Marge, you would love it.
I know.
Is there any chunks?
No, it looks like it may have got, that may be water that got in it. Kind of looks like the way it looks when it has water in it, you know? Especially down here at the bottom, which water should settle to the bottom. It doesn't feel gritty to the touch. That doesn't mean it's not really fine material though. We're gonna RTV this thing, smear it out real nice, and I went ahead and cleaned the new one to get any oil off of it, off the gasket surface. Oh, I'm glad that fit. We didn't even dry fit it. Oh. Okay, look how nice that looks. Big thank you to Quick Performance. This really helped us out. Really sped the process up. At least we know it's put together by somebody that knows what they're doing. My electric bill's gonna be through the roof. I'm going to leave this thing apart for tonight, and we are going to let it dry overnight, and we'll stick this back together and put fluid in it in the morning. But we gotta coat that tank before we go to bed too. We got our dedicated stir stick here. Apparently we can't have wooden stir sticks. Better stir this stuff up good, huh?
Better keep mixing.
I guess that's what fills in the pinholes, huh?
Yeah.
How thick it is? It won't save, so you just pour it all in. This is supposed to seal pinholes and seams, resistant to all fuel and alcohol. It seems odd to pour that in a gas tank, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. We did this same treatment on our Galaxy wagon gas tank, which it's had more than 96 hours to dry because we haven't put it on still. It's been probably 6 months ago. Probably the next video we make of the Galaxy wagon is gonna be putting that gas tank in. Now we've got to slosh this around and get it on all the sides, let it drain and dry for 4 days. I'm gonna go ahead and coat this outside with this blackout because it's a little thicker than just spray painting something, you know? Maybe that'll be another layer of protection. And we'll let this thing dry. This thing will never leak again, huh?
No.
Have you completely mastered TIG welding today?
I mean, I'm getting pretty good. I could probably weld something up.
Well, you do better than I did today with the MIG. Well, we had a great day today. We got a lot done. We're gonna let this stuff dry and we will see you guys tomorrow. Ralphie, you be careful on the way home now. I don't need you breaking any more bones, okay?
Okay.
Man, who slopped the paint on that thing, huh? Look at that. It feels dry. Everything in there feels dry, but it says 96 hours. We're gonna let it sit out here in the sun and dry for a few days. We're gonna put this room back together, aren't we?
Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't see you there. It's nice to see you again. I tried to adjust the brakes out a little bit because they were a little loose. It's still a little bit loose, but you want your back brakes a little looser, right?
Yeah.
All right, you want the lug nuts?
Squeeze, are you feeling better today?
Yeah.
Good. You painting something?
Yeah.
Time to build a drive shaft, guys. So I'm gonna get the measurements on this. I know it's a 1310 U-joint. It's like 3.12 inches. Now our yoke, this has got them crazy plastic caps, Tosh.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna have a special adapter U-joint here. It's 3.57. All right, let's find the drive shaft and start cutting.
Okay, we got the rear end done. We passed the fuel tank.
Yes. So center to center on the U-joint, 18.5 inches is what our drive shaft's gonna be. That's the shortest one I've ever made. I'd have to go back and watch the Starlet videos to know how short that one was, but this one's shorter, I'm pretty sure. So our drive shaft, which I think this is the one out of the Galaxy wagon, 56.5. So what do we gotta do? We gotta take 38 inches off of this?
Yeah. Well, I can't do math, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, you're on your own with this
All
one.
right, so we gotta take 38 inches out of this to get it the same center to center.
That is insane.
So the actual tube of the drive shaft is gonna be 15 inches. And with the yokes on each end, it's gonna make it 18.5. Now I gotta cut this yoke off.
How's it going?
Good man.
Getting better.
I just can't weld up a crack.
Well, you're learning.
There you go. I was gonna grind that weld down. We don't need two welds on top of each other.
So I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the rear end while Dad's working on the drive shaft. Oh. Okay. I think she's full now.
Yep. Good job, Walt.
Appreciate it.
So I've been grinding for a long time here. You can see I've made it through right there. And this is the old drive shaft starting to come off because it's got so thin. It just takes some time. It'd be really nice to have a lathe to do this, but we don't have that. Right, Piggy? She is rooting.
She is right here trying to mess.
It's hot, don't touch it. You getting it figured out, man. Look at that one. I can't do that.
Dimes.
Huh?
Literal dimes.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
You should be able to open this just like a can of onions here.
Oh my gosh.
That's how you do it. You just gotta grind and grind and grind. Dun, da, da, da.
Oh my gosh. That's so short.
This should fit in there. We may have to heat this up just a little bit to get it down in there. So our U-joints were originally lined up with each other. So I'm gonna do it the same way again. All right, we're in, I guess. Weld it up, huh?
Yeah.
Ralphie's going to slowly roll this thing as I weld it. And we're gonna try to make a really pretty bead.
Like how slow, like that?
Yeah, pretty slow.
You tell me to speed up or slow down.
All right. We got a decent weld on it. Shouldn't come loose. Biggest thing I'm worried about is not it breaking, it's vibrating, so we'll see. Maybe this heat will help it pop these out. Ooh, that one broke. I was gonna say, is it ever gonna land? I was looking for it. Is this drive shaft gonna be Marge proof?
Absolutely.
We gotta do like a Walmart pickup with this thing, you know?
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be a head turner driving it around.
If it runs.
Hey, whoa, whoa.
I'm just kidding. I think it'll run.
Flip it over. We got the drive shaft ready. I thought I had U-joints here, and the U-joint I had here to go in the front, someone has stolen all the needles out of the bearing. And I don't have the 1310 joint for the back that I thought I have. So we got to go get the joint, and we got a late start today, and the parts store's already closed. This is going to have to be a tomorrow thing. Look what Waz been working on tonight. She's on a VW kick right now with the drawings. Tonight we're watching Cold Mountain. Next day we got the correct U-joints. The numbers are 372 and 369. So one is a standard 1310 and one is the conversion joint to go from 1310 to the GM. I can't remember the name they use for these plastic ones. I hate. We gotta pop them boys out of there.
Oh gosh.
Remember what they're like.
It's terrible.
I know. I'm gonna start with the easy one. I'm gonna start with the 1310. I'm gonna point the grease fitting towards the transmission so we can access it to grease it. I already pulled the caps off 2 ends here so it can fit inside here. We're gonna try to press this cap on here without losing any bearings, right, Walt?
Right.
And poor Ralphie has whatever Squeeze had, and he's got a fever and he's sick. Just one after the other around here, literally. We've got 11/16 socket we're gonna use to push this down there. You can do this in a vise, you can do it with a hammer, but if you have a press, this is the best way to do it. I've done it with a jack handle.
Oh, wow.
Little pregnant wife.
Jesus.
Woo!
Why do that?
I don't know, it popped all at once. You can release the pressure. You guys alright?
No, my heart ain't even started beating again.
Okay. The hard part is doing all this without losing any needles. I kind of like to wiggle it to make sure it's not getting in a crazy bind or something.
I don't like this. Not me freaking out. No, I don't want to. Oh my gosh! Why does it do that? It's terrible!
I don't know, it just popped. You are the most dramatic person.
I hate loud noises like that. It's awful. It's terrible.
Ah!
What are you doing?
Why are you giving it more?
It's not all the way down yet. There you go.
Wow. I'm gonna have a hard time.
Alright, now we gotta put our snap rings in there. Y'all are just dramatic.
Woo.
We got our snap ring pliers here. Now I'm gonna give it a little bit of push this way because it's not quite all the way in on the other side right now. Why are you backing up, Wall?
Because I hate this noise. It's terrible. It's almost as bad as when you like heat them up at the end when you're trying to get them out and they like fly out.
Well, that's the next step we're gonna do on the other.
No, what?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be here. I'm gonna skedaddle out here. I ain't. Did that scare baby? No, you're terrible.
You don't need to squeeze it yet. Get it down there where you want it to be. I'll squeeze it together. Kind of push it down with your fingers. You can probably pull the pliers out. Now take the pliers and push it down until it snaps in. You should see it snap. See how it like went down?
Yeah.
Kind of went in there. Okay. So that keeps our caps from coming out. Still feels free. Shouldn't have any messed up needles or anything there. Now we gotta heat this up until the plastic pushes out of these. And these can be dangerous, so figured out last time you kinda gotta stay clear. Right, Walt?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Why do they even pop like that?
Terrible.
The cap didn't even move, and it already pushed out the plastic on both sides, and then it just, boom, went off like a gun. All right, I gotta do the other side. All right, there you go. I think we got it, guys. No need to duck and cover anymore. We got an 1 1/8" socket on the bottom and 11/16 on the top now. All right, cut this one. I would love to know what the reason is why they hold these in with plastic. Look at that, it's just held in with stupid plastic ring. I think your car even has a Toster Yukon. I don't understand what the reason is. I'm sure it saves them money and it's faster on the assembly line or something. Can I not get that out? There we go. Same thing, put it in here.
This is gonna make a noise again.
I doubt it.
It probably will. I'm gonna scream.
I seriously
probably.
doubt it. It will.
Oh, it definitely going to.
Just do it quick. Get over it.
Go.
Oh my gosh!
What does covering your face do?
I don't know. It helps me a lot.
Go.
I'm gonna hunch over. I'm gonna. Oh no! It's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. It's gonna pop.
Alright, that's good. You can stop there. It didn't pop, guys.
You
should see how Marge is covered up back there. Alright, loosen it up, Wall.
Oh my gosh.
That's good, thank you. This is retained by these inside clips. So I pushed that one in a little bit far so we can get this in easily. This will stop it from going too far the other direction when we press it the other way. Alright, Wall, go for it.
Are you promising it's not gonna make a noise?
I can't promise, just go for it.
It's gonna make a noise, isn't it?
Just go!
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Why are you laughing?
You jumped back so far over nothing.
Oh no. I'm not dead. Oh no. It's gonna make a noise. I can feel it. I can feel it. Dad, I can't do it.
What? Here.
There's resistance. Nope.
I'm gonna push it down until it starts to bottom out on the other side.
Alright, good deal. I'm glad you got that over with.
I think I'll just leave the pressure on it and snap our little clip in while it's holding it for me, huh?
That works.
There we go. I just keep dropping everything.
What, is this gonna make a noise?
Wow, we're literally doing the same thing every time.
I think it's different every time before we did this. Are you sure it's not gonna make a noise?
I don't know that. Just go, push it. Okay, let off. That was scary, wasn't it? Golly.
This is crazy.
Last one, Wall. This one will probably pop. I bet it will. What do you think? Squeeze is gonna pop or no?
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna step back a little bit. It's gonna pop.
No pop, Wall. Guys, we're done.
Woohoo!
Woo!
It really didn't take that long, huh?
No, not bad at all.
Hopefully we have enough articulation for our setup. I really hope so. Please fit. Right, Wall?
Right.
Please. Oh, I think it can fit, Marjorie.
I hope so.
Right there, Wall. So we got plenty of clearance with our muffler here. We have somewhat of a harsh angle this way. See, like a rear end housing is offset to one side, usually. So it's harsh looking because the drive shaft's so short. The transmission is in the center of the vehicle. Our pinion angle here we know is right because we set it when we installed all this stuff. We do have a little bit of a harsh angle off to the side. I've never had a car that had that, so I don't know how that'll react. We'll see if it shakes our teeth out or not. We have the crustiest, rustiest U-bolt straps in the world with our new center section. That looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody will ever see it.
Yeah.
We got gears now, Marge.
Well,
We
hey,
can throw her in park now.
that's awesome.
We've been relying on the brakes every time we move it because we had no gears. Yeah, it's actually connected now. I'm going through and zip tying up all these wires that are hanging down like this O2 sensor right here just to make sure nothing gets melted on the exhaust system or anything like that. Remember, it's not butching if you cut the ends off of them. Here you go, we're doing it right, aren't we, Wall?
Right.
We're gonna move on now to our tank, even though the paint ain't dry on it yet. So we gotta make sure our depth is correct. So I'm gonna start the screw on this hanger, which will support the pump at the right height. What do you think our depth is on this thing, Wall? Let's get a measurement.
I want to say about 17 inches.
17. We're at 10 1/4.
Oh, so off.
So we don't want it sitting all the way down the floor. We need it real close to there.
That's the littlest, piddliest something I've ever seen.
It is a very small bag that came in. It's like a penny bag. Like 11 1/2, so we need to cut like an inch off this, something like that. I don't think we're gonna have to cut our return hose or our bracket or anything. Just that guy right there. It's got this heavy duty hose clamp to hold the pressure in. Slide this down over the barb for the supply side. Fits really tight in there. We don't want this coming off, do we?
No.
It comes with 2 stainless steel clamps here to attach the pump to this mount bracket. So we're gonna souse her down. I don't know how this foam lives in the fuel, but I'm sure it's special foam. Wouldn't you think, Laura?
Definitely.
Surely.
We have a vent, an outlet, and a return here. So our outlet and our return are gonna both be 1/4 inch pipe thread to -6 AN. We got some new Earl's fittings here to do it. I wanna tape these guys here to try to help them not leak. I'm just gonna use a barb fitting on the vent because obviously it has no real pressure on it. But I wanna go ahead and screw these in here. They'll be easier to put in now than they will pancaked against the tank. And as you tighten it, all these fingers swing out, obviously. We gotta have everything pointing this way. It's the only place we have enough room to get the wires out. The reason why the return line goes all the way to the bottom of the tank instead of just spraying out here is if it just sprays out the top, it creates a bunch of air bubbles in the fuel and you'll end up on the side of the road somewhere. We got a pre-filter there we snapped on. It's already pre-wired. The nice thing about these is you don't have to figure out a place for your wires to go through. A lot of times on an old vehicle like this, it's kind of a pain figuring out how to get your wiring in there without creating a leak or something. All right, we'll just tie these down. Just pulling it down tight. That foam seal is sealing it off. On my Maverick, I ran the wires for the fuel pump down the filler neck.
Oh, yeah.
It smelled like gas all the time. It's basically taking an ancient fuel tank and making it like a modern fuel tank is in a car.
That's cool.
The most reliable way to run a electric fuel pump is submerged in fuel because it keeps it cooler. A lot of times with an external fuel pump, you have a bigger chance of overheating it. Although it is much easier to swap out the pump outside, it does give you a bigger chance of having fuel issues. I had to shorten our float up. My original plan was I might could turn around the other direction. This pattern, although it looks symmetrical, is not. It only allows you to bolt it in one direction. Now, it should be short enough that it doesn't run into that. I'll set this guy down in here now. Well, I lost every single bolt for this. So I'm trying to make something work here with my random packs of bolts I have around here. It's like a number 10 by 32 machine thread, and the only ones I have that size are too long, so maybe these will work. Because this is pretty thin metal, they'll cut their own threads on the way through. That's just like putting a lock washer on it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It holds better than lock washers, I've heard. I'm just putting this guy back in here to fill a hole. That's the factory feed line that goes into the bottom of the tank. I'm just gonna use a regular 3/8 hose here for the vent because there's no need to waste any high-end hose for a vent. It says it needs to be 6 inches above the tank. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and make some lines that are kind of long as well for the feed and return. Because it's kind of pinned up there on top, we really can't reach it to tighten it or anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that ahead of time. We'll lubricate this. This is the Earl Super Stock hose we always use. It just makes it a lot easier to put together. And it works. You don't have to hose clamp these, but I usually do when it's fuel on a fuel injected car like this, or if it's transmission lines, but that's just me. We're putting a new wire on here while we can get to this. I don't know if this sending unit's gonna work. I mean, I really hope it does, but I don't know that it does. We gotta try to get this up through here. I don't know if it's gonna fit with a transmission cross member. We jacked the rear end up to try to help. But we're gonna make this happen, aren't we? I hope. Okay, there it is. Straight up. So this guy needs to go up and over this. That's why I made these long. Right there.
Where are they on this side?
There you go. That's unkinkle-dinkled. Somebody's gonna say, you never painted the top of the tank. I'm really amazed that we were able to even do this with the stock tank, you know?
Yeah.
As old as this thing is, like, I know we had to do a bunch of work to it, but still, the fact that it was even usable at all.
Right. It's a miracle.
Surprising. There she is, installed.
Woo!
How much more time do we have to wait before we can use it?
2 days or something like that. 1, 2, 3. Should be good.
Marge, I think your mask's off. We got 2 more days, yeah, before we can even touch it. Well, that's gonna be it for now. We'll be back at this tomorrow. We got a little bit more wiring and plumbing to do, and we will be ready to fire this thing up.
Woo! Shoo! Wow!
Well, we didn't actually work on it yesterday because I wanted to give that gas tank time to dry. And I didn't think he was gonna be in this video, but my buddy Mike at Neighbors Glass and Tint is supposed to be coming, and he's going to replace the windshields and this side window here. He claims he can cut this glass and just make it brand new, so we'll see what he can do. I'm worried about that one because I don't know how it even comes out of that door, but he probably knows, you know. Even though this isn't in front of the driver, I mean, you know, it has a hole through it. So he's on his way. He should be here any minute. I'm gonna roll this thing off the lift and get it ready for him. Oh, he's here. I've been working on this thing a little bit. I'm a little worried because he's gotta cut it, so that scares me. It may not scare him. It's a little rotten, isn't it?
It's just hard rubber.
Oh, you all right?
Oh, yeah.
Popped right out of there. That comes apart in pieces, as rotten as it is.
They're super hard to find them. It has a square corner.
Yeah.
If we went back with the rubber like that, we'd have to take and 45 all the corners, and it's a mess, and then we're more prone to leak and stuff like that. The way we wanted to go put it back in is gonna be way stronger, way better.
And what's that cutter made out of? What's the tip?
It's a carbide tip. It's a little carbide roller.
Okay.
It's very, very sharp. What you do, you score one side of the glass.
Oh, wow, that's scary.
And you break this side.
Dad said measure twice, cut once.
I measure a lot. It's a lot easier to do the straight cut. I can do pattern cuts too, you know what I mean?
Wow. So he's flipped it over now to score the other side.
It's a razor blade.
So now it's got an inner layer that's got to be cut or melted, right?
There's a little bit of both. I'll melt it and the denatured alcohol, it don't burn super hot, but it burns off real clean to where.
Wow. Crazy. Can't hardly see it burning even.
That's why it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
You get outside and
Ooh.
you can't see it for nothing.
It's like methanol.
What happens is people don't see that, like that little flame right there.
Yeah.
They don't see that, and they dump more alcohol.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Now that's the shape we need. So we're taking this one out just to make everything match and seal it up really good, even though it wasn't busted on that side. So this one's going in the same way we did the motorhome. It's gonna urethane this thing in, and a lot stronger, a lot better setup than the way they did it back then. You said this doesn't take that long to dry, right?
It's actually safe to dry within 30 minutes.
Wow, it's crazy it can hold that up there that quick like that. Doesn't even sag down. Well, this door glass here turned out to be a real nightmare for them. We had to end up taking the steering wheel off, taking the door off the track to get the glass out because there just wasn't enough for him to get it out. Finally got that out of there. Here's the old glass here, but you could like reach your whole hand in, you know. Somebody painted her with the glass in it, didn't they? Well, they are out of here. Got both the front windows put in. Look how nice that looks, huh? See right through it. Finally got this in, just had to take the door off and stuff. What a mess there, but he urethaned this track on so we can still bring it up and latch it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He cut all 3 of those pieces of glass. So check him out, Neighbors Glass and Tint in North Georgia area. He said if you call him and say Sleeper Dude sent you, you're gonna get 10% off your bill. So check him out, does really good work. Well, the keys are home. They haven't seen it. What? Check out the windshield.
Oh! Oh, it looks so clean.
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Super clean, huh?
Wow.
Yep, it's new too.
Look at all that junk.
Had to take the door off, yeah. Look at all the junk that was in this track. This was all in the track. It's actually right back there behind all that. So Mike dug that out. Is it squeezy approved now?
Yes, it is.
Now, I actually did a bunch of work while he was working. I hooked up our map sensor. This hose goes to the back of the intake. I plumbed our fuel system. So our fuel feed goes into this Holley filter here, into that rail, comes out, back around, goes into our regulator. We have our pressure transducer here that'll read our fuel pressure. This is plugged off. Return line goes back to the tank. So we got a Holley regulator as well. I went ahead and wired up the fuel pump, so the ground goes to this bar here. The positive one goes up there to that relay we hooked up before, and I have one wire to hook up to turn on the power to this fuse block down here. Let me show you how I hooked into the factory harness. I kind of guessed at some of that. I found these 2 blue wires. One of them went to the alternator from the factory. The other one went to the starter, which I think is where the positive battery cable came in. So I hooked both of them up here to this lug on the alternator to hopefully send power to the whole system here. And the little wire that went to the starter on the inline 6, I put it to the starter solenoid on this one. So that's all the tie-in it has to the factory harness. We're about to hook up the power and see what happens. And y'all need to put transmission fluid in it for me, please. And we need water in it as well.
I did not expect this today.
I've been working. All right, are y'all ready for this?
Right. Oh, it's working.
Little sparkle. Okay. Nothing exploded or caught fire, that's good. So I don't have any fuses in the Holley stuff right now. If I turn this on, what happens? I heard a blinker come on. Did you hear that?
I heard something.
If I bump the starter, in theory, it should turn over. It doesn't. Okay, that's good. So that didn't work.
Blinker.
Why wasn't it doing that 2 seconds ago? Oh, the light's working in the back. Look, see if there's a blinker on. I don't know why it's blinking.
No.
Okay. Well, that's a good sign. What's this do?
That's the heater.
So my wire to the starter did not work, that's for sure. I guess I gotta start testing things. There was this red wire and I didn't know what it went to. That I have ran out of the ignition switch. Maybe that was the one that should went to the starter. Oopsie. No voltage to that wire yet. Turn the key on. No voltage. Crank. Okay, that has voltage in cranking.
Oh.
So why does the one that I labeled as starter not have voltage in cranking? That's weird. I'm going to cut this wire here and reconnect it to this wire I think the engine will turn over now. Do you think this will work, Ralph?
Yes.
100%?
Absolutely not.
I hope the other stuff works, like some of the lights and stuff. I don't want to have to chase everything and rewire everything. Did you get your transmission fluid in, Wall?
Yeah.
We put about 10 quarts in it. We're going to see where that's at. What is going on around here?
No.
We're not
Your
getting a
dad
snake.
wouldn't, he would move out.
Yeah. Let's see if our wire works here, Wall. Okay. I'm going to spin it over just for a second. So there's no power to the Terminator X, so it will not start. Okay, now I've got to get a power wire to turn this on. We got to figure out what has power with the key on and cranking, which usually is hard to find. So both these side leads here have power with the key on, but when you crank, does it go away? That one goes away. Does the other side go away? It does not. Okay, so we can pull power off this side to turn on that fuse block. Good deal. This is a very low amp draw, so it doesn't take much of a wire. All it basically does is tells it to turn on. It doesn't supply any power to anything, just a signal wire. We should be able to kick that on and then kick this on. I'm throwing our fuses in here. Everything's gonna have power this time. They've only got 5 circuits there. Ooh, Terminator X turned on. The dash came on. Okay, that worked. Run the calibration wizard. Okay. You've seen us do this plenty of times. So all I'm gonna do is go through and tell it what size motor, what size cam, you know, what kind of RPM we want to idle at, just basic stuff, what injectors we have. I won't bore you with the whole setup. So we've told it all the basics. It's a 4L60E. Told it what injectors we have. Told it how many teeth on a reluctor wheel we have. We're gonna push start. So right now is sending that to the Terminator X. Cycle the ignition to complete this operation. So we gotta turn the power off to this. Wait for the lights to go out down here. Turn it back on. Oh, hear that? Our fuel pump came on.
And our fan kind of.
And there's no fuel in the tank.
You just saw that, huh?
Yes. Perform TPS auto set. Slowly. You hear that? Press it to the floor twice. Successful. Okay. Well, let's put some gas in and see what she does. Because of the day we didn't work on it, it's actually been 96 hours tonight. Hopefully like 94 hours is good.
Surely.
Look how low down the input is on that. This is that good 93 octane.
Woo!
Hopefully our tank doesn't leak.
Just don't look.
Don't even look down there.
Just don't even look.
We're not dripping right now. Battery voltage good. Coolant's 88 degrees, that's probably right. Oil pressure 32, fuel pressure 0. Why would we have 32 pounds of oil pressure? Well, it's connected correctly. My sending unit must be bad.
Yeah, that's important.
So I guess we're gonna have to minus 32 from everything. Is that the pump running on here?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get a fuel pressure reading. I'm not getting any fuel pressure. Huh. Let's just try and see. Still showing 0 fuel pressure. I put like 2 or 3 gallons in it. You think that'd be enough?
It's got enough.
Just turn the key on, Ralph, to the on position. So it's sending 12 volts to this. It's sending power to the pump. Did you find enough fuel? It needs more than that.
I wouldn't think so, but...
I know I didn't put a whole lot in it. It's not showing any fuel pressure at all. And we had no fuel at the house, so I'm going to get some. That good 93, right, Ralph?
Yeah.
Oh, goody. My wife left the truck empty. When I was your age, somebody come out and check your oil and your casing. Now we got televisions here. Don't worry, I filled your truck up. Dead empty.
Oh, no.
Dead empty.
Caught me.
Every time. I'll put 5 more in. We'll see what that does. I don't know if that pump's running.
The buzz I hear may be this computer right
I think it
here.
may be just the computer we're hearing.
Yeah, I want to get on
No fuel pressure at all. Always something, isn't it?
Yep.
Always. Okay, let me start tracing things. I can't feel all the way to the pump, but nothing here is pinched or kinked or cut or anything. I might have to drop that tank a bit.
Yep.
Well, let's check one thing. Let me verify we have no fuel pressure. Let me crack a line and see if fuel comes out. This is the feed going into the fuel rails. We should have fuel come out here. Looks like nothing's going on there. I got the flow the right direction on the filter. Plumbed all this according to the diagram. Same way we have every car. Turn the key one click on, wall. Nothing. No fuel. Guess I'm dropping the tank. Well, good news is we put a bunch of gas in it. That'll help. I tried to get slack on all of our hoses and wires so we could drop it down without hurting anything. Sure is pretty. Looky there.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, my wires didn't stay connected in the install process. Well, that'll help, won't it? When you have wires hooked up?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, let's get this fixed. I put some new connectors on here. Yeah, that crimped is a small wire going to a bigger wire, and I guess I didn't get the one side connected good. I was just gonna try and start it, but with that oil pressure sending it not working, when we were cranking it there, it wasn't going up at all either. I'm gonna have to replace this because I don't want to start it up and not know our oil pressure. Here's that dude. I'm swapping this guy out for a Holley pressure transducer, just like this one. They have the exact same plug as a GM oil pressure sensor, so it goes right in there. Hear that?
Yeah, about time.
We got a fuel pump, I think. Yeah, 43 pounds of fuel pressure.
Woohoo!
Okay, and it's back at basically zero on the oil pressure now. So, hopefully we have oil pressure and fuel pressure.
Awesome.
Are you ready, Mom?
I'm so ready. I'm nervous. It sounds...
Pounds of oil pressure. Yes! We got 50 pounds of oil pressure, 43 PSI fuel pressure. It's charging.
Yay!
It'll get better once it warms up, because the idle should go down lower.
Awesome!
Learning right now.
Yeah.
Been trying to take away fuel right now because it's running a little rich. Oh, it sounds good, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's cooking some things off here. So it's a roller cam. It doesn't have the crazy braking procedure that our flat tire machine does.
That's that transmission fluid we spilled.
Oh yeah. I wonder if the transmission does anything.
Awesome.
There we go. We got air and cooling system. That's so crazy that there's no connection to the throttle except for wires. Trying to idle. Oh, it's really starting to sound good now.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta get Mike over here.
That's what I was just thinking.
It sounds awesome. That's the thumper cam.
Yeah.
Remember, we got a thumper.
That's what it sounds like. I want to see what's cooking.
So we have no pressure on the cooling system. The cap is off. I'm a little worried, you know, nowadays. Our belt's staying on. It sounds so good.
It does.
Oil pressure's good, boss.
Yeah.
So it helps when you actually get the wire connections done right, you know?
Yeah, that's
On the
always a
fuel pump.
plus.
That's kind of an important part. I put this heat shield here. I'm a little worried about our wires getting hot. I need something to wrap the wires in as well.
This may be one of the best sounding cars.
It's awesome.
I think it's better than the Galaxy.
100% awesome.
It's got the chomp, doesn't it?
Sounds great.
The only thing that sounds similar maybe is the Gremlin. It has a lot of chomp.
Those Australian mufflers sound awesome, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Great.
Woo! It don't like me doing light throttle and backing back off it.
That's gonna be so fun.
It may have the aisle set too low. Really rigged up high. It's trying to pull 30% of fuel, so it's just not really happy right now on fuel.
And that's normal, right?
Yeah.
How happy are you?
Like a 10.
10 out of 10?
I'm gonna raise the idle up 100 RPM, see if that helps me.
That's so crazy.
I know.
I can't believe it like fired up right like the first time. That's insane.
I know, as soon as you have fuel, it fired. It don't like starting up, does it? If I give it throttle, it starts.
Well, against it.
If I back off real slow on throttle, it'll sit there and idle. We're at 190 on the temp, 191. We need to make sure it doesn't get hot. Well, this is the highest spot in the cooling system. We should be good. Maybe it's already completely full. I don't know. How many gallons did you put in? 4. 4? I don't know what it should hold. You improve with the chop? You know, the sound. Good. This is how we should have been doing the Fairmont. I got in a hurry and didn't think about it. This is why I use in the body shop, and it works great. So right now, you know you have no pressure in there. This is hot. I mean, it's kind of, I think it's working. Everything's in the green on our indicator lights here. That's good.
Seems like it's doing better now.
Yeah. Temperature 190. It had, I think it had a 185 or 190 thermostat, so maybe we're good. Temperature goes down as I rev
It
it.
was like 85.
Just listen, doesn't it sound like our Yukon?
Oh yeah, it does, yeah.
190, 188, about there. The whole truck moved. Do it again. Yeah. Yeah. She ready to go. Need us a grill. We need a grill. Just keep that skinny pedal pushed down. That's all you got to do.
You just don't like coming off, like it'll sit there and idle fine.
I don't like letting go either.
Yeah. We got a little bit of tuning to get out of it. With electric throttle, I'm not sure what to do because I can't like adjust it except for in the tune. Man, it sounds good.
It's so exciting.
It is like super snappy too.
Yes.
Like,
You can see the whole van flexing.
yeah.
It's awesome.
It's gonna be a ripper. That's probably gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna try to button some things up and we'll have to get out tomorrow when we got more daylight. I don't wanna get out there in the dark with this. With no
And
light.
rain with no wipers.
Right, it's raining. Big day, huh?
Awesome.
I love how it sounds. Like, it really sounds good. Have more trouble than normal. Usually we don't have that much trouble out of the wiring.
Yeah.
Well, we will see you guys tomorrow and we'll get this thing out of the shop.
Woo!
Shoot.
Kids have already went up to bed and Mike the neighbor is headed over here because he told me to let him know. So
This is his favorite vehicle, isn't it?
that's what he says.
I think it's it.
He likes the wagon and he likes this. He tried to buy this in office a bunch of times. So he's on his way. We haven't told him it runs, but he'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a man cell.
That is wicked.
I love the way it sounds, man.
Yeah, I love that.
It all run pretty good.
I even put my shirt on.
Hey, that's nice.
I told her, I said, I bet you got the Metro going. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, he's working on the Metro. I know he was today because I knew the glass guy. Like,
yeah.
I bet you got it running. I'm like, I gotta go home. Put my shirt on.
I can't wait to drive it, see how it does.
But it went in gear and everything?
Yeah, we put it in gear. I need to check the fluid level.
Yeah.
We haven't rechecked it again, but.
Look how low that thing is to the ground.
I know. Yeah, it wouldn't even work with the stock oil pan. It was too low. Now we're actually getting out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Cybertruck spotted. No, thank you.
Mars blew right by him, didn't she?
Yeah. He thought he had his battery charged up.
Raymond's hungry today. Man, how's he swallowing that? Next day, we're ready to drive this thing. It's nice and sunny. So I did a little bit of work to it today. Started up and checked the transmission fluid level. It needed 2 quarts. We put that in there. I put the inlet air temp sensor in the inlet air, which is helpful.
How'd you do that?
I cut a hole with a razor blade and screwed it in there. The main thing I did was I called the Holley Tech line and they gave me some tips on getting it to not die when we back off the throttle.
Oh, good.
With your handheld, you go to tuning, you go to advanced tuning, you go to advanced idle. In there, you can change the ramp down rate, how quickly the throttle goes back shut. It was set at 40% throttle, so it comes down to 40% idle air control. I put it to 100, so it gives it as much air as possible, and it ramps down over like 7 seconds, and that seems to have helped a lot. Good. We'll see how that does. Are y'all ready to take it for a drive?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
I think I'm going to throw something over this for safety because we have, you know, coolant hoses and fuel lines and stuff. I got an idea for that since we don't have a doghouse done yet. I've got a welding blanket here. Despite being cozy to curl up with, they also should keep us protected from spraying things.
Cozy to curl up with. Aren't they fiberglass?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
That's not cozy.
That is not cozy.
So I'm thinking I can clamp it up here and cover all this up just in case we had a hose blow off or something. That's our next thing we gotta do is build a doghouse for this thing. Oh yeah, we may not need to build a doghouse.
Oh, please.
I mean, I kind of know how to weld aluminum. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's try that.
It's not great.
Get that chop.
I feel absolutely so much safer without them.
Oh yeah, we're good now. I'm gonna flip to this shifter. Brakes are good. I love it. Oh, UPS is here.
United Parts Matches.
It should. It didn't die. That's way better. It's nice to have mounted seats. We never had that before either.
Yeah.
Oh, a little jumpy. Y'all holding on?
Yeah,
Whoa! Whoa!
No.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh, that was jumpy.
I think it scraped.
It did. Something scraped. Alright, it don't like donuts. We figured that out.
We need to do a burnout.
Clearly.
Oh no, don't go off the hill.
No, I'm not going off the hill.
Like, don't go off the hill. Alright, Josh,
really just break it?
What was that?
Look under.
I'm getting out.
Look under.
Uh-oh. Really?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Oh, you broke it.
Well, I don't see your drive shaft.
Did I slip that into neutral or something? That's unfortunate. Let's see.
Try to drive it.
Let's try it again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Is that really just broke?
What did I do?
It broke.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
What did I do?
I don't know what you did.
Better be careful with it.
I've been at the drag strip before. I know it broke.
Maybe my shifter's not just right.
That's the rear end.
What did we mess up?
The rear end.
It's either the rear end or the drive shaft.
What in the world? Okay, let's roll it back down that shop and see what's up. We'll throw it up on the lift. Alright, well, we made it about 10 feet.
Looks good.
Oh, this is a bummer. Back on the lift. Didn't expect that to happen. We made it like 50 feet.
Grass too. Torque.
I know the drive shaft is in our transmission all the way.
Something is amiss.
I think it's our rear end. That's where the sound was coming from. It's either
Why would it have broke the rear?
it's either the back there or that.
I wanted to drive it down the road.
I know, me too.
The drive shaft's in it. Rear end's in it. What broke?
What does it feel like?
What? Wait, the car's rolling. This thing is in park right now, so it shouldn't roll. It's rolling in park.
I think you might need to watch the video I have on the phone.
You think it'll show something?
Yeah.
I felt something pop, for sure. Something popped.
And I really heard it back here.
Yeah, I did
Something
too, when I got out.
was whining pretty bad back here. I told you there was a noise.
Yeah. And
What was that?
It definitely sounded back here, didn't it?
Yeah.
It whined like crazy. That's something that broke. That's like splines that are...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Was it not all the way in, right? The rear end?
Wait, it's rolling, but the drive shaft is not
Moving.
Okay, maybe it is the rear end. Yep. Something's broke in the rear end.
Oh, well, at least we don't have to pull the engine.
How would it have broke something in the rear end like that fast?
That torque, son!
It did say, let's see. Let's look at the tag.
Don't look at the tag now.
Initial break-in, 5 heat cycles. Drive gently for 15 minutes. No aggressive driving.
We probably should have read that.
Let it rest for 45 minutes. Repeat steps 2 and 3 4 more times to get 4 or 5 heat cycles. Then you can drive it hard. So I didn't follow that at all. But
We never do that, and sometimes it works, so.
right, we were in grass though. I wouldn't have thought. Let's pull the rear axles. That's pretty quick to do, and see what's up there.
That is crazy.
It is crazy.
That is
Sad.
crazy. That's very depressing.
I think Marge wasn't even driving.
I know. She really never made it through me, huh?
That one's still got its splines. That one's not broke either. So it didn't break an axle. I guess we're gonna pull the center section and see what's up there. Like, our splines from our axle might be far enough in the posi unit. It's like a width difference between an open and a posi.
Well, it was tightened down all the way.
I don't know what it is. This is not what I expected to be doing tonight.
No, it's a bummer.
That was easy to come out. That feels fine.
That was very loose.
I broke it loose. Of course, I glued her down.
I mean, we don't want it coming off.
Am I right? Chunkies? Any chunkies?
Well, it has a decent size
Lip. Carry this heavy boy out of here again.
You got me to pull it out?
Let it drain there for a minute.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to refill this, ain't we?
Yeah.
It took me so long.
Like, I don't know what's inside that unit, but I don't think it would break a pinion or a ring gear. Golly, that's so heavy. Is anything broken there?
Look at the teeth.
I thought we were gonna pull all this just to find out it was somewhere else broke.
Oh no.
Don't
Does it
say
feel
that.
sloppy?
No, it doesn't have any slop in it. Look, you can see inside there. The gears look fine in that posi unit. Look, see the block and the gears? Everything looks fine there. I don't see any chunks of metal. The pinion's turning.
The teeth look fine.
I don't see anything. All the pinion and ring gear look fine. I don't see any chunks. Looks a little discolored, but I don't feel any metal in here. Guys, I have no idea. I don't know what went out.
Oh, 'cause it sounded like it was coming from back here. Never made that weird noise.
Hey, look, it wasn't splined up. The axle is not reaching the splines. Look, at the very tip, you see the splines are chewed off?
I thought that was like
No.
from factory.
Nope, that's what it is. Okay, what's the other one look like? Is it just one side?
Yep.
It's this side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel anything wrong with that. So our axle is not long enough. Our axles are not long enough to engage on the posi unit.
Well, how are we gonna fix that?
I just pulled a differential out for nothing.
Well, I mean, at least you know.
I guess. Let me do some measuring, guys, and I'll get back with you. The total width of this unit is a little more than 1/4 of an inch narrower than the stock open diff. That shouldn't be enough to matter because you're only talking about going from here to here. So that really doesn't explain things. We know that this is a mystery rear end. We don't know who put this in here. They may have thrown the wrong axle in it back in the 70s, and it didn't matter because they made 50 horsepower, and they may have had about 1/4 of an inch more engagement than we had, which for the engine and transmission may not have been a big deal. I thought maybe this bearing might have slid in, but it's right up against as far as it can be pressed on. So we have an axle issue, guys. Looks like we're gonna have to get axles for it.
Well, that's a lot better than something that could have been way worse.
That's accurate.
It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but
It is unfortunate, but it's the truth. We did a ton of work on this thing this week, and we got it running.
right.
And we did drive it for a very short distance, and it sounds awesome.
And it looked good driving.
It did, and it doesn't like donuts. So we found some numbers. It's supposed to be 1 inch and 1/8 between these axles. So we stuck them back in here. It should be 1.125, and we are at 1.6 inches. So we definitely have an axle that's too short. I don't know, guys. I didn't put this rear end in this truck. I have no idea what the rear end's out of. I'll probably have to order aftermarket axle. If I would have known this, since we were already ordering our center section, I would have went to like 31 spline or 35 spline, but I didn't know. So that's our issue that we had no idea we had. Guys, I have worked myself to death on this one. It was like so much work. I don't even know if this is 2 videos. It may be 2 videos long. I don't know at this point. We videoed so much on this one and worked so much. I wish we got to drive down the road, but I mean, I can't complain, you know. I mean, we got it to drive and it sounds awesome, so.
And the engine seems to be good.
Yeah, the engine seems great.
Great.
I was really wondering what was up there when it did that, you know?
When you pop the Pringle.
You
Yeah.
should just pour it on there.
Yeah.
Maybe help some
Pour one
farmers.
out for your homies.
Yeah, pour that on the axle, we'll fix it. We appreciate you guys watching this build. We're trying to get this thing done. We would love to take it on Power Tour if that's possible, but I don't know if that's gonna be possible. We still got a lot to do. Gotta build a doghouse. Gotta get the lights and stuff working. We were gonna go pick up Mike and ride around.
I know, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah,
We're not making it up around here, though.
right, yeah. We're not faking it. You can get our merchandise at thesleeperdude.com. That's the only place we sell merchandise is thesleeperdude.com. A lot of these offshore companies are taking people's money and not sending them any products. We have had complaints, people thinking they bought it from us and they realized it was someone else's website. They stole our pictures off our website and everything. So now our website is linked below. So if you look below the video, you'll see our merchandise right there. You know it's from us. We don't want anybody to get ripped off.
Don't be a ripper-offer.
Come on. Big thank you to Quick Performance for coming in clutch on the differential, and it didn't break. Should have left that thing in there, I guess. But big thank you to Curtis Driveline for the help with the transmission. Huge thank you to Holly. The Terminator X worked awesome again. Worked great. Their tech department helped me out today on that idle thing. Big thank you to Comp Cams as well for their help. The cam sounds spot on.
It really does. It sounds great. It sounds fantastic.
Thank you to Neighbors Glass and Tint for doing the windshield and the door glass. That was great too.
Looks like it doesn't have one.
I know.
Look at it from the front.
Mike the neighbor really likes it, so I feel like we're accomplished. You know, if we didn't impress Mike, then who else do we need to impress?
Exactly.
You know? We got a new vehicle that y'all haven't seen yet, unless you're a member. We're probably going to be working on it next, I guess, unless we run into a bunch of problems with it as well. We may. It may get delayed for that reason, but we're going to start working on it, I think, next. I think I've got basically everything here to build the engine on the Falcon, so we'll be doing that soon. We also got to put the engine back together on the Fairmont with a few upgrades, so that's going to be cool.
Ripper.
We're just doing a lot of builds lately, and I love it.
Making that horse donkey.
Yep. But we better go give these to the pets. They're going to be waiting on us, aren't they?
Yep. Yes.
Look at all these babies. Well, at least Murphy's on the job today. That's good. He's been doing better about staying in with his other goats. Look, you get a treat, huh?
Oh, come on.
He's not the best jumper yet.
Good job.
Hey, Rocky Jr.
Hey, Rocky Jr. There you go.
So here's Walkie.
You want Wayne?
Rocky, I'm sorry we didn't get to go for a ride in it.
Oh, just took the whole thing. Right,
nice.
Because you're old.
Granny gets special treatment. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Does George Jones want one yet? Here.
Georgie.
No. It's so funny. Like, only certain goats like them. Carl ain't gonna try it at all. I know that. Has anybody touched Carl in the wild yet? Anybody?
Oh, no, you can't get close to Carl. Who gets it?
Granny, of course.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, that's nice. Is that your thumb that's getting wet, honey? Is that your thumb? Oh! Where is Ween?
Look.
She hiding?
Wayne!
There she is. We should start putting music to this. A treat. Good stuff. You gonna lick it off her lip?
Hey, remember,
Jesus saves.
and dog gentles are every 7 miles.